The Chicago Bears just got terrible news, and we're going to talk about it here just 2 days before kickoff between the Bears and Jags in London. Welcome into Bears Now by Chat Sports. My name is Harrison Graham. Whether it's good news, bad news, somewhere in between, analysis, reaction to games, anything else surrounding this football team, I'm going to bring you guys a video here on Chicago Bears Now. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and support the show. We would greatly appreciate it. All right, Tyreek Stevenson, doubtful for Sunday. I said it yesterday when he popped up on the injury report with a calf. I was like, that's not good. That's something to monitor at minimum. At maximum, he could miss this game. And it looks like he will miss this game, which means Jaylon Jones would likely start. Because remember, Terell Smith didn't make the trip. He is still out with a hip injury. So Jaylon Jones is your fifth corner. So you'll have Jaylon Johnson on one side, Jaylon Jones on the other, and then you'll have, obviously, Kyler Gordon in the slot. And at safety, Jaquan Brisker is out, so you're going to have Elijah Hicks next to Kevin Byard. So two starters out, your top backup out in Terell Smith, and your secondary, clearly not ideal. Now, the Bears have good depth. Jaylon Jones is a player that has gotten some playing time over the past couple of years, started 4 games in 2022, gotten some games last year. He's a player that the Bears trust and believe in. He's obviously been a great special teams player. Matt Eberflus said today that he knows the playbook inside and out. They trust him. So luckily the Bears have good depth at this position, but having 2 members of your secondary out in a critical game against Trevor Lawrence and the Jags, in which T-Law had his best game of the year last week, not exactly ideal timing, right? I mean, we've talked about how the Bears have caught teams at the right time. Well, maybe the Jags have caught the Bears at the right time as they're banged up in their secondary. So certainly not the best position to be in, but you still have Jaylon Johnson out there. You still have Kevin Byard and Kyler Gordon. So you still have 3 of your top guys, but you're thin. I mean, if one of your corners goes down in this game, Josh Blackwell is your last corner available. So definitely something to monitor there. We'll see how it plays out. I guess there's a tiny chance he plays, but typically when you're doubtful, it's about a 99% chance you're not playing. And when it comes to a calf, I'm not messing with that. I'm sitting him this week. You got the bye week next week. Hopefully you rehab him and he gets ready to go for week 8 against the Washington Commanders coming out of the bye. Tevin Jenkins, the latest on him, he is questionable. After not practicing yesterday, he was limited today. They are listing him as questionable. Matt Eberflus told the media that they're hoping he's available for Sunday. Now, I wonder if there's a scenario where he's active and available, but he's like 80%, so he wouldn't start. He would just be available like in an emergency situation. That could be the case. Or maybe he just starts. We'll have to wait and see. This feels like a 50-50 deal because in the only full practice they had this week on Thursday, he did not practice. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, the Bears have Bill Murray, who played well last week. Nate Davis is still available to slide in at right guard, and you can move Matt Pryor / Bill Murray to left if you needed to go that route. So you've got options. I've said all week, unless he's close to 100%, I would probably sit Tevin, just give him an opportunity to take the week off and rest up that ankle. He's been nicked up the last couple of weeks. You got the bye week next week, so that's probably what I would do. But I don't mind the approach of him being active as a backup if you need him in a pinch or if Murray is really struggling. But I would like to see more Bill Murray, but I also get if Tevin's close to fully healthy, he's a starter, so you're probably going to play him. So we'll see how that plays out on that front. But Jenkins, questionable for Sunday. Tyreek Stevenson is doubtful. Obviously, Jaquan Brisker didn't make the trip. Neither did Terell Smith and Zach Pickens, so they are all out. Everyone else healthy, ready to go for this matchup. Oh, one other note. Jacob Martin, who is still on short-term IR but had his practice window open this week, was a full participant all week. They're listing him as questionable, so that tells me they have not made a decision yet whether or not to activate him for this game. If not, they obviously have 2 more weeks with the bye week coming up and obviously Washington looming in week 8. So that'll probably just depend on how they feel of their game day roster this Sunday. None of the defensive linemen are hurt, so they might just push this off a week with Martin, but he's healthy. That's the positive sign. So he should get back into the fold sooner rather than later. All right, some other just thoughts before we get out of here. Bears, Jags on Sunday. Obviously, assuming Tyreek Stevenson is out, I think you have to assume that Jacksonville is going to take some shots downfield in the passing game. They're going to look to target a guy like Jaylon Jones, look to see which side of the field Elijah Hicks is playing, because with Reek out, there's no reason to basically ever throw toward Jaylon Johnson, especially if that's the side Kevin Byard is on. So I would expect the Jags to look at exploiting that matchup. Now, Matt Eberflus, who has been blitzing a little bit more this year, does he play more heavy coverage to try to protect a couple of backups that are going to be playing in this game? I could certainly see that being a possibility. So the chess match will be interesting between Doug Peterson and Matt Eberflus as the Jags look to exploit a potential Bears weakness without a couple of starters out. We're still waiting for the Friday Jags injury report. Yesterday, everyone was limited just like the week before. We'll see on Tyson Campbell. They opened his practice window. If the Jags got him back, that would be a boost to a struggling secondary. Evan Ingram's been limited all week. He hasn't played, I don't think, since week 1. If he goes, that obviously gives a boost to Jacksonville's offense as well. And something we have talked about as well, you've got to slow down Tank Bigsby. He's been running the ball really well the last couple of weeks. I think he's averaging like 7-8 yards per carry on the ground. So that's got to be an area of emphasis for Chicago, who has not done a great job at stopping the run so far this season. So some tidbits there that the Bears need to lock in on as they get ready to take on the Jags. And let's face it, a pretty pivotal game of the season. I'm not saying your season's over if you fall to 3-3, but look at the NFC North. You're 3-2 right now, and you're in last place. You have the same record as Green Bay, but they've got the tiebreak so far. You got to keep up. You got to keep pace. And this is a game that even without Tyreek Stevenson, even without Jaquan Brisker, I think the Bears should win. So just find a way to get it done. Style points don't matter. Get one more point than the opponent. Get to the bye week. Get these guys healthy, and let it rip against Washington here in a couple of weeks. So it's going to be really important to get this done. Predict the score. Who do you got? Who's going to win? I've gone Bears 28-20 all week. Maybe that's more like 28-24 with another member of the secondary out, but I like the direction Caleb and the offense are trending. I think they'll continue to put up some points. They've scored 60 in the last 2 weeks. I don't see why they won't score 25+ in this one against a not-so-great Jags defense. Maybe the Bears give up a few more points without a couple of key starters, but I still like Chicago to win this game. I'll go 28. I'll stick 28-20. 28-20. Bears get it done in London. You give us your thoughts in the comments below. You see the note on screen. Join our live watch party Sunday morning, 7:15 a.m. Central Time, maybe 7:30, an hour before kickoff. We'll see how bright and early Cullen and I are ready to go, but we will be live well before the start of this game, so be sure to subscribe and join us. My name is Harrison Graham. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Enjoy your Friday.